Welcome along, fellow time travelers. This time around, we're going to check out the many homes of musical genius Brian Wilson. Before I begin, please like and share the show and subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell. Now let's begin our journey. Brian Wilson, the musical genius behind the Beach Boys, grew up in a modest two-story home in Hawthorne, California, at 3701 West 119th Street. Built in the 1940s, the house was a typical suburban dwelling with 3 bedrooms, where Brian shared a room with brothers Dennis and Carl. The Wilson family, including parents Murray and Audrey, lived there during the 1940s and 1950s, and during the 1960s when the Beach Boys became world famous. The living room housed a piano, where Brian honed his musical talents, laying the foundation for the Beach Boys' iconic sound. The home was demolished in the 1980s for freeway construction. You would think they would have at least tried to save the house and move it somewhere, but they didn't. In 1964, Brian Wilson, still single, moved into his first apartment, located at 7235 Hollywood Boulevard. Located in a mid-20th century building, it was right in Hollywood's raw, pulsing core, and was ideal for being able to get to the studios and catching the creative buzz going on around Hollywood. Brian moved there to dive deep into the industry's grit, letting the wild street vibe spark his creativity. For the first time in his life, Brian Wilson was away from his family and out on his own, kicking off a new chapter, not only in his life, but in his career and for the music industry itself. Once Brian got married, he and his wife Marilyn Ravel purchased the house at 1448 Laurel Way in Beverly Hills in late 1965, seeking a new space amid his rising fame and creative peak with the Beach Boys. The 4,128 square foot, 4-bedroom, 4-bathroom home, built in 1961, cost somewhere between $100,000 to $150,000. The move followed a temporary separation due to Brian's drug-associated social circle, and the house inspired a creative surge, notably for pet sounds. The couple lived there until 1967. That same year, Brian and his wife Marilyn purchased a Spanish-style mansion at 10452 Bellagio Road in Bel Air for approximately $300,000 to $350,000. Seeking a larger, more private space to accommodate his growing family and creative needs, the house featured a home studio, crucial for recording Smile and other Beach Boys projects, allowing Brian to work without external studio constraints. The luxurious property, set on a half-acre lot, reflected his success and offered a retreat from public pressures. They lived there for most of the 1970s. Brian then lived at 4700 Libby Avenue in Encino, in a 4,675 square foot Spanish-style estate. He'd likely paid somewhere between $500,000 and $700,000. Brian moved there seeking a quieter, gated community to focus on recovery during mental health struggles under his doctor's care. The 6-bedroom home, on a 1-acre lot with a pool and tennis court, was sold in 2020 for a little over $3.5 million. In the late 1980s, Brian moved to 910 Green Tree Road, Pacific Palisades, California. This 4,000 square foot, 4-bedroom home, likely costing somewhere between $600,000 and $800,000, provided a quieter setting during his treatment under his doctor for mental health issues. The move aimed for stability and privacy amidst ongoing personal challenges. Brian lived there into the early 1990s. The home's serene, upscale neighborhood suited his need for a low-key environment during recovery. In May of 1997, Brian and his wife Melinda bought a 6,527 square foot French country-style mansion on Dover Hill Road in St. Charles, Illinois. He paid $1.4 million. They moved there so Brian could work with producer Joe Thomas, who lived next door, and to record Brian's 1998 album, Imagination, in the home's custom-built basement studio. The 5-bedroom estate featured 9 fireplaces and a pool. Brian lived there until 2001, leaving after a falling out with Thomas, prompting a return to California. The house sold for $1.5 million in 2001. In 2008, Brian and his wife Melinda purchased a 3,357 square foot colonial farmhouse at 919 Osprey Lane in Lake Arrowhead. He paid about $1 million. Seeking a serene vacation retreat, the couple was drawn to Lake Arrowhead's peaceful, celebrity-favored setting in the San Bernardino National Forest. The 4-bedroom, 3.5-bath home, built in 2006, featured cherrywood floors, a stone fireplace, and French doors opening to a white picket fence yard. They lived there until 2012, selling it for $949,500 to buy a larger nearby property. In 2012, Brian and Melinda bought a 4,500 square foot chalet-inspired lakefront home in Lake Arrowhead for $2.1 million. The 5-bedroom, 4.5-bath estate, built in 2012, offered vaulted ceilings, an elevator, and lake views, appealing as a luxurious retreat for relaxation and entertaining. Its solar-powered dock and outdoor kitchen suited their lifestyle. They owned it until 2019, selling it for $2.85 million, having enjoyed the area's recreational offerings like boating and hiking. The exact address isn't publicly specified in available records, by the way. Brian and his wife Melinda then purchased a 9,353 square foot mansion at 3320 Clarendon Road in Beverly Hills in 1999 for $3.5 million. Located in the gated Mulholland Estates, the 6-bedroom, 7.5-bath home was their primary residence, where Brian lived until his death on June 11, 2025. They moved there for luxury and security, ideal for raising their 5 children. You see, Brian and his wife Melinda adopted 5 children: Daria, Delaney, Dylan, Dash, and Dakota, between 1995 and 1998. So he needed a big house for them all to live in. The spacious, gated Beverly Hills estate provided a secure, family-friendly environment with ample room for their young adopted children, making it ideal for raising them during their early years. So as you can see, Brian Wilson, the creative force behind the Beach Boys, owned numerous homes reflecting his success and need for relaxation. From his first Hollywood Hills apartment to the luxurious Beverly Hills mansion, where he lived until his death in 2025, each property suited his evolving lifestyle. Homes like those in Lake Arrowhead offered serene retreats, while others fueled his musical genius. These residences provided privacy, space for family, and creative sanctuaries, aligning with his status as a renowned musician, seeking balance amidst fame and personal challenges. So what do you think of the many homes that were owned by Brian Wilson? If you're rolling in dough, would you live in any of them? You know I would. Please share your thoughts in the comments below. Kindly remember to like, share, and subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Please check out the links below to learn how to support my research and productions. This channel is sponsored by CampfireShop.com, where you can purchase handmade candles, gourmet teas, and herbal supplements for high blood pressure, glucose, cholesterol, and more. So head on over to CampfireShop.com and buy a bunch of stuff. Kindly be kind to all of our fellow Earthlings, and please do not harm them. And do yourself a favor and go to a local shelter and adopt a cat or a dog or both. You and they will be very glad that you did. Until next time, I wish you safe travels on all your journeys.